Hello everyone, my name is Richa Mahajan, Assistant Professor from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Jagannath University, Jaipur. Next is who is photojournalist and what is expected of a photojournalist. A journalist tells stories. Photographer takes pictures of nouns, people, places and things. Photojournalist capture verbs. This sounds simple, but a room of professional photographers was dumbfounded by the realization. Even after even after a full-length lecture with documentation and visual evidence, half of the photographers still had no clue what the difference was. Although photojournalists can take properly exposed and well-composed photographs all day long, they hunt verbs. They hunt them, shoot them, and show them to their readers. Then they hunt more. A photojournalist has thousands of pairs of eyes looking over the shoulder constantly. The readers are instant, insistent. The readers are insistent. What are they doing? What did you see and what happened? Readers can't see what they missed with a noun. If it works, if the question is specific enough, what did the condemned building look like? But most answers require verbs. To tell a story, a sentence needs a subject, a verb, and a direct object. News photos need the same construction. Photojournalists tell the story with their name, their images. Also, words are always used in conjunction with photojournalists' images. To be photojournalist, we must understand the relation between the image and these basic elements of language, all languages worldwide. Next is what is expected of a photojournalist. A photojournalist is a visual reporter of facts. The public places trust in its reporters to tell the truth. To shoot, of course. No amount of teaching, courses, tips and tutorials can replace actual hands-on practice, which leads to experience, which leads to knowledge and which leads to understanding. But are there certain norms, conducts and codes that a photographer must be aware of, most especially when shooting in places or of people where and when it's not allowed? You will need to learn and practice different photography techniques to aid you in creating and two high quality documents. Traditional reportage is presented in documents that scroll horizontally or similar to how you may view works along a gallery wall. Today my topic is who is a photojournalist and who is a professional photojournalist. Photojournalists can broadly be divided into two: professionals and amateurs. The first kind is the photojournalist who as a result of his education, training and kind of engagement dedicates and specializes in shooting, processing, editing and presenting as news materials photographs as a calling and means of his or her livelihood. This kind of photojournalist may be personally or under the employment of the government or corporate organization. As an independent practitioner, a professional photojournalist produces, packages and sells his or her products to the mass media and other news organizations for use. This means that he or she procures his or her own photographic equipment, computers, photo studio, and laboratory. laboratory. This he manages as a business, using it as platform to showcase his or her professionalism, enterprise expertise, and business acumen. The other kind of photojournalist is the amateur. This photojournalist is not attached to any media institution but works on his own, not employed by either the government or corporate body, and engages in photojournalism out of interest, curiosity, and personal gratification. Although some of his output may eventually be given out of for use by media organs or sold, the primary goal is not to make profit. Next is photojournalist. Now we will learn about who are photojournalists or types of photojournalist. Commercial photojournalist. He or she is highly specialized in nature, always in demand and competitive. The photojournalist is attracted to the world of advertising because of its great financial benefits. Advertising is by itself a competitive business, and manufacturers and their advertising agents are always on the look out for the best among them. It is expected that as journalist he or she has to work under pressure. Thinking up of new ideas requires shooting props from different angles. He or she must be able to use a wide variety of camera lenses and lighting equipments such that with his knowledge he can take expertly a picture of a studio setup, small item, or even a still life production. Then number two is fashion photojournalist. He or she has the same technical expertise and facilities as the advertising photographer. Fashion photography is about styling, showing clothing, shoes, hats, hairdos and makeups to the best of possible advantage. He most of the time work with the models and so must have the right temperament and personality. Must be able to coax and encourage the model to display the garment in the most attractive way while still retaining a pleasant and relaxed atmosphere. Number three is industrial photojournalist. Industries utilize the services of photojournalists who can either be in a plant or freelance. The freelance is a specialist who is contracted to do some work which are considered to be outside the scope of expertise of the in-plant man. The industrial photojournalist is expected to do a wide variety of jobs such as covering the firm's sport day, AGM, do journally publicity, captions, or produce illustrations for brochures, catalogs, and industrial manuals. Next is freelance photojournalist. This type of journalist offers his or her service for hire. Many of the careers mentioned above fall within the province of freelance, but work on the field is distinctive style. There are generally many freelance journalists in practice. Number fifth, the press journalist. The good press journalist must have an eye for news in much the same way as any other journalist must have nose for news. He must be able to interpret a story and decide immediately how he would take the advantage of the best opportunities to take pictures. He has to sum up a complicated situation with just one photograph and rarely has second chance. Must be able to take the required shots very quickly. Speed is of essence indeed, bearing in mind that the right mode of shots must be captured and the picture must be ready for printing deadline or they will not be of any use. Next is qualities, attributes of a professional photojournalist. A good photojournalist, as being as being a practical person, is expected to be able to work on his or her own. In this regard, he or she is expected to have certain qualities which are given below. She or she should have a blend of artistic and scientific skills with the ability to deal with people and put them at ease. He or she being able to obtain a good photo finishing is important to combine artistic and technical skills. He or she should pay attention and should look out for granted details that might distort perception. He or she must be patient and have good powers of concentrations, plus an interest in color and design. An even tempered logical cameraman uses his visually imaginative approach to take and process good picture qualities, scenes, and statements. He should have the ability of interpret the editor's idea. The photojournalist requires practice, talent, and experience to shine on the profession. The following are the attributes of professional journalist. Number one, he is that educated and trained journalist and photographer who is able, as a result of his wealth of knowledge, to present an event in such pictorial sequence as to further convey the communicative aspects of the incident. He is able through the proper editing or cropping of photographs to give the gist values of the pictures, understands the value understands the news value of every event, is able to harness it photographically. With an imaginative picture, the photojournalist brings out the entertainment attraction of a story. His or her professional upbringing equips him or her to understand when to or not to take and when to or not to present a particular picture in order to avert legal or other negative consequences for his media organization. The photojournalist respects the code of ethics of the photojournalism profession. Thank you so much.